under Companies Act 2016 and the previous Companies Act 1965. On the other hand, a corporation has a wider definition to include any entity, firm or incorporated or existing in Malaysia or outside Malaysia. However, it does not include any public authority not incorporated for commercial purpose. Assalamualaikum, my name is Putri Musafir binti Aswadi. First, company limited by share. Company limited by share means that its member obligation to the company is limited to the amount that the shareholder was invested, and the personal asset of the shareholder will be protected, but the money that was invested in the company may be lost. Basically, this type of company raise capital by selling their share to the public, and company limited by share will be run by the board of directors that was elected by the shareholders. Second, company limited by guarantee. Company limited by guarantee means that the member liability is limited to such amount as the member undertake to contribute in the event of the company being wound up. This type of company also don't have share capital and shareholders, and it is an alternative type of business that is being used by non-profit organization. Rather, they are held by one guarantee or more guarantees. And also, the guarantees do not take any profit from the business because all the revenue returned to the organization to meet its profits goal. Example of non-profit organization is sports, charities, organization of membership, and so on. 3. Unlimited liability company. Unlimited liability company having no limit to place its limited liability on its members. If the company is wound up and has insufficient asset to settle its debts, the shareholder will be required to contribute the asset to the company to enable it to settle its debts. And this type of unlimited liability company same goes to sole proprietorship and unlimited partnership. We go to the types of company in Malaysia. There are 5 types company in Malaysia. First one is public company. Public company is other than private company. This company required to have berhad on its and at the end of the name. There is no limit or maximum number of the shareholder. Only a public company can offer share and debentures to the public and seek a listing on a stock exchange. Second one is private company. Private company liability is limited by shares, and the member of the shareholder cannot exceed 50 shareholders, whereby there is a restriction on transfer share or offer share to the public, and this type of company also prohibited from making any invitation to the public to deposit money with the company. Private company also must have sendirian berhad as a part of the name and at the end of the name. The third one is exempt private company. Exempt private company is a private company with not more than 20 members whose shares are not held directly or indirectly by any corporation. An exempt private company need not file their annual financial statement with the registrar of companies. Fourth one is foreign company. Foreign company is a company, corporation, association or other body incorporated outside Malaysia, or an unincorporated society, association or other body that can sue or be sued or hold property under the law of its place of origin and does not have its head office or principal place business in Malaysia. Lastly, number 5, government-linked companies. Government-linked companies are corporate entities which the government owns some or all the share capital. This company could be private or public listed company. At times, the government may hold a stake in the companies using a holding company. Basically, GRCS company are concentrated in specific industries to boost the country's economic development. Example GRCS in Malaysia are Petronas.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Nurul Ainabila binti Mustafa. Okay, for the registration requirements based on Companies Commission of Malaysia, owner or partners must be a Malaysian citizen or permanent resident of Malaysia. Next, owner or partners must be aged 18 years and above. Only owner or partners is allowed to submit an application. Next, register the business within 30 days from the date of commencement of the business. And last, the nature of the registered business should not contravene any laws. Okay, financial reporting requirements based on Companies Act 2016 is accounting records to be kept, annual returns to be submitted to authorities, directors and managers prepare financial reports and statements, other matters as to capital and borrowings. Financial reporting requirements based on Financial Reporting Act 1997, it mandates the Malaysian Accounting Standards Board to issue financial reporting standards. All entities filing financial statements to regulatory authorities should apply the financial reporting standards issued by the MASB in preparing and presenting their financial statements.
Annual report. The annual report may contain the following: Chairman's statement, corporate governance statement, audit committee's report, statement on internal control, social responsibility statement, and finally financial statement. Chairman's statement. This is the first part of annual report. In general, the letter from the chairman will set the tone, set the theme, and most importantly, summarize the reader report. The letter will illustrate the successful of the company has made for the year as well as the shortcoming of the company. The letter will state what contribute to accomplishment of the company as well as explain how it managed its weakness or problem. It will include an overview of the overall company result, insight into the market in which it operates and any growth opportunity. Corporate Governance Statement. Company shall adhere to the Malaysian Corporate Governance Code issued by the Ministry of Financial. The code set out the principle and best practice relating to the structure and way in which company can take good governance. It is a comprehensive report which aims to provide information to the shareholder and other interest person about the corporation operation and financial result over the previous year. Audit Committee Report. The Audit Committee typically consists of the director and independent senior manager who support the board of directors in helping them to meet their corporate responsibility and reporting obligations. The report shall state the areas of responsibility of the audit committees and the manner in which it has performed its duties. Statement on internal control. Malaysian Corporate Governance Code requires listed companies to maintain a sound system of internal control to safeguard the interests of shareholders and properties in the company or business. Bursa Malaysia Security Berhad allows listed company to issue a statement about their state of their internal controls in their annual report. Social Responsibility Statement. This statement provides information on social responsibility. The goal of the Social Responsibility Report is to allow companies to assess the environmental impact of their activity on society and the economy. It allows business to gain reliable and useful knowledge that can help them develop their operation and have more positive effect on society and the environment. Financial Statement. The annual report includes the meat of the financial statements. It is where the company presents the statistics used by the investor to assess how well the company has financially done. The annual statement consists of the declaration of income or profit and loss, balance sheet and cash flow for the preceding year and prior year, so the investor can compare the result through one year to another. Bursa Malaysia. Company listed will make additional report to the company's performance. They are required to make preliminary result statements within 6 months after the end of financial year. The listed of companies are also issue half-yearly reports of their performance within 3 months of their end of the half-year periods.
Assalamualaikum. So my name is Nuranda Ayyusamil Azman. Today I'm going to explain about advantages and disadvantages changes from partnership to company business. So the first advantages is transfer of ownership. In a company, it is easy to transfer the ownership by selling the shares to another party. The next one is ease of raising capital. Why? Because the capital is being contributed by all the shareholders who bought the shares from the company. So the third one is perpetual life. Means that there's insanity of shareholders and also board of directors does not affect the company existence. And the fourth benefit is professional management. This is because management of a company is handled by board of director, and the board of director is being chosen by shareholders. So in order to manage day-to-day activities in the company offered salary for professional manager. So it means that company offer professional management compared to the partnership. So the last benefits of company is it is limited liability. Means that the liability of shareholder is only limited to the amount of shares that is allotted to them. Okay, now so let us move to disadvantages of a company. So first is lack of incentive. This is because of a separation of ownership and management function. Since the employee is not the owner of the company, it will cause the absence of personal interest and incentive towards the company. So the next disadvantages is regulation. Compared to partnership, a company has to comply with more legal requirement and also more restriction governing to its formation and also its operation. And the third disadvantages of company is high taxation. Why? Because the company tax burden is heavier as it is subject to company's profit. So it means that the higher the company gains profits, the higher the tax will be charged towards the company. So the fourth one is high organization cost. The company incurred more organization costs, such as fees, various legal and promoters fees, and many more. Last but not least, the disadvantages of company is indirect control of shareholders. It means that the shareholders, who are the real owner of company, have limited control to daily activities of the company. Meanwhile, the board of director have a lot of power towards the company daily activities.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Siti Aisyah binti Ismail. I would like to explain about differentiate the element disclosure in financial statement between company business and partnership business or sole trader. So what the difference between company business and partnership business is, in the partnership business, they need to invest money to provide working capital. So they need you to use your money or other resources to run the business. While in the company business, the capital will provide by shareholder. So the shareholder will invest money for them to run the business. Besides, in the partnership business, the profit will given to the partnership. They will contribute the profit according to the ratio if they have a contract. If there is no contract, the profit will be divided equally. While in the company, the profit will given to the shareholder because the shareholder invest money to the company. Other than that, in the partnership business, they have a no tax because the partners get dividends. While in the company business, they have a tax because the company need to pay the tax to help the government. Next, in the partnership business, partners and owner are liable for any liabilities. If any one of partner cannot pay his share of the debt, the creditor may make their claim against any of other partners. While in the company business, the shareholder are liable for any liabilities because the shareholder are the owner of the company and shareholder get a profit and provide a capital. Last but not least, in the partnership business, they do not have a director fees because the partnership control operating directly to generate the income. While in the company business, they have a director fees because they have a director who control operating to generate the income.
In conclusion, this whole chapter provides a summary of the legal aspect of business creation and organizational responsibility for financial reporting.